Namaste, Ram Ram Ram. Welcome you all to the class 4 of Stories Behind Temples. We will begin with the prayer. I request all of you to switch on your videos and sit straight. Guru Reva Gatir Guru Meva Bhaje Guru Naiva Sahasmi Namo Gurave Na Guru Paramam Shishunai Guru Matirasti Guru Mama Pahi Guru. So tomorrow will be our last final valedictory class. So I request all the learners, all the participants, all the children, all the parents to kindly attend the session tomorrow without fail, because we will get to know many more things about temples in the last session tomorrow. You can also share your valuable feedback in tomorrow's session. So I welcome on behalf of Vyoma Linguistic Labs to attend the final session tomorrow. Annyewadah. Over to you, Ma.
Thank you, Vasudha. Namaste, everybody. Namaste. So welcome to another session, beautifully crafted. That is temples of Divya Desams. We've been going on a journey. It's been 4 days already, and the journey so far has been very beautiful. So today we are going to continue with a kshetram that we started yesterday. One of the amazing kshetrams, one of the greatest kshetrams of Lord Vishnu, where he himself was a tenant to start with. And then he became the lord of the land. He took the place on lease when he started, but then the place became synonymous with his name. That is Sri Venkatachalapati at Tirumala Tirupati. Yeah. I will take questions towards the end. Please, if you have any questions or observations, please hold on and I will answer them towards the end. Okay. Today, I think we will have more time towards the end to answer questions. So if you have any questions from the earlier sessions also, if you have any questions, please put them together so that we can discuss them in the end today. Okay, so welcome to today's session. We will start with where we left previously. That is, we went on to meet Sri Venkatachalapati. So Venkata, so the hill of Venkatachalapati, the hill has been having many names over the various cyclical spheres of time. Okay, over the various yugas, the name has been changing based on the Sthala Purana during that time. So it's called Seshadri Hills, it's called Venkatadri Hills, it's called Garudadri Hills. So all sorts of names. Achalam means in Sanskrit non-moving, correct? So Venkata Achala Pati. So that hill which is unmovable, right? Hills and mountains are called Achalam because it's non-movables. So Venkata Achala Adipati is Venkatachalapati, the one who is the leader or the head of such a beautiful range of mountains. Yeah, so that is the name here that Srinivasa Permal has. And Srinivasa, as I told you earlier, what is the name? Srinivasa means Sri Nivasa, the one who resides in Lakshmi Devi. Yeah, because the whole story of this Thala starts from there, right? Because Bhrigu Muni comes and tests the Trimurtis, and when he keeps his foot on top of Perumal's chest, what happens? He doesn't get angry, and because he doesn't get angry, Lakshmi gets angry, saying, that is the place where I live, and you let him put his foot on me. How can you let that happen? And that is when Lakshmi leaves for Bhuloka. Mahalakshmi goes into tapas in the Kolhapur area, it is said. So Kolhapur That is the area where she goes into tapas, and everybody tries to take her out of it. But Srinivasa is intent that he will move out of this place. He will go from Bhulokam to Vaikunta only with Lakshmi Devi. So with that firm intent, he stays on. And we saw the story yesterday, what all happened. And Srinivasa stays back to take away the fulfill the curse that he himself had given to Akasha Raja. So he had to be reborn as Akasha Raja. His daughter Padmavati had to be married to Perumal himself, and that is when his sin will go away. And that is why he stayed on, and Varaha Murthy gave him the lease of the land, because he had to stay for longer. Srinivasa Perumal had to stay for longer. Till date, actually, Varaha Murthy is the first one who is, whose blessings we take before climbing the hill. Before going to see Srinivasa, first we pay our respects to Varaha Murthy in this particular sthala. And then comes Vakula Malika, who is none other than Yashodamma. Yashodamma wants to see her son get married. So she takes a rebirth as Vakula Malika takes care of Srinivasa. And Srinivasa, of course, goes into the palace of Padmavati. Padmavati and Srinivasa, they met during a hunting expedition. Padmavati falls in love with this young man. And Srinivasa knows it is Padmavati and he is to marry her, but he has to get confirmation from her, so goes in the form of a fortune teller or a soothsayer. And that is when he also advises, saying, there will be an old lady coming here asking for the hand of your daughter. So he tells this to Padmavati's mother, saying, don't say no, because this is a God-made arrangement. So this divine arrangement has to happen. So please say okay to this particular marriage alliance. That is when their marriage alliance gets fixed, Srinivasa and Padmavati Tayar. And then what do they do to make the wedding so grand? Because she's a princess and he is a nobody now without Lakshmi Devi. So that is when Kubera comes into the picture, and he offers all the Kodana Kodi Binbangal, they say, Kodana Kodi, that is so many crores of coins, gold coins, offered to Perumal and for the marriage. And it is said that till date, with interest, the principle has been going back to the Kubera. How? Through all the devotees, because one of the places in this world where all the devotees pray to give their profits or put it in that hundi is Tirupati. So all the vasool happens in Tirupati, where we are all paying up for Perumal's marriage to Padmavati ji. Okay, so perennially that debt is going on, and that debt has to be fulfilled by Kali Yuga, it is said. And then comes the story where Lakshmi Devi comes in and questions the marriage of Padmavati and Srinivasa. And that is when Srinivasa explains who Padmavati was. And that goes to the Ramayana Yuga. And that is Maya Sita, who was ready to marry Rama. But Rama, in that particular incarnation, could only take one wife, and that is only Sita. So he takes an incarnation again to fulfill his promise to Maya Sita, and she becomes Padmavati Thayar. And both Padmavati and Lakshmi Devi give their darshan in this particular spot. And that is how they are in Kalyana Kolam, always in that marriage kolam, It's like a picture perfect marriage scene that you see in Tirupati even today. So they are right in Perumal's chest. He keeps his wives right here. So that's the beauty of this particular avatara. And talking about the place itself represents, like, the heads of Adisesha, the 7 hills represents the heads of Adisesha. And this is also called Bhuloka Vaikuntham, especially by Maharishi Ramanujacharya. He came to this place, and at a particular point in time, there was a struggle whether the main Murti, because over time, the forest, especially this is a forest place, so it grows off, and there are people who are not taking care of it. So, like that, there are times when the temples have vanished and come back in place. Okay, so somebody or the other will refurbish the temple. So that is how it usually happens. So in this place, they lost the identity of the Lord. They were worried whether it was a Shiva Murti or a Vishnu Murti. And that is when Sri Ramanujacharya came in, and he, gave an idea, and all the symbols of Lord Shiva and Lord Vishnu were kept inside the Mulava Sthalam, and it was closed. And overnight, after they opened it, it is seen with Shankha Chakra, and that is when they understood it was Lord Vishnu. Okay, so, and also this geographically also this place is of immense importance. It is one of the most ancient archways or naturally made biosphere of the world. So it's 2.5 million years old, it is said. Such a beautiful place. And of course, there are also rock depictions which are natural in this place, which looks like Permal, which looks like Garuda. So one of the depictions you see here is looking like a side profile of Lord Narayana. And you will also see the hill. The hill is bent in such a way that you can see Lord Balaji's face on the Tirumala sphere, on the landscape. Okay, like he is lying down. His nose and his namam and his crown. So when there is bhakti, we see him everywhere, right? So this is one such instance that happens. And when we think we have a very long day and it is tiring, and we do so much of work in a day, all that when we are saying, it is interesting because Tirupati Permal stands in one place, and you know how much time he gets a break in the whole day. Guess. Chat is open. How much time do you think he will get a break? 2 hours, 1 hour, 3 hours, 2 hours. He gets a break of 45 minutes to 1 hour maximum in the whole day. So one of the places where Permal actually, proves to us that if you are, working hard enough, you will earn maximum, is this particular place, Tirupati, where Perumal's day starts so early. The day starts at 2:30 a.m. When have we last seen 2:30 a.m.? Probably if we have to catch a flight or we have to catch a train, probably like that, we would have woken up at 2:30 a.m., right? So, yes, forever did he find Lakshmi? Yes, he did. Because Lakshmi came to him and all these conversations happened, right? So, Lakshmi is also with him as Tayar in this particular temple. So, he is woken up with Suprabhadam very early in the morning, 2:30 a.m. That is when the Vedic chants and all that are sung to wake him up. And then there is Tomala Seva. So there are many, many sevas in Tirupati. Okay, so one of the sevas is basically, you will have to wait for your questions only towards the end. Okay, so there are sevas where, different types of garlands are strung together and offered to the Lord, and different kinds of offerings in terms of Archana, different types of offerings in terms of food is all given in Tirupati, because the Lord stands for 23.5 hours, correct? So, Tomala Seva is the second one, where the Bhoga Narasimha is given a bath. So, there is a small Mulava, Utsava Murti, and he is the main Lord called Bhoga Srinivasa. Okay, so Bhoga Srinivasa is the one to which all the Abhishekam is done and all the offerings are done. But our Srinivasa stands tall. Okay, the Moolavar stands tall, and most of the Abhishekams and all the Archanais happen to Bhoga Srinivasa. Bhoga Srinivasa, Bhoga meaning the one who is entertained, the one who entertains the world, right? So all the worldly things are called Bhoga. So when we all go and stand in front of Tirupati, Venkatachalapati and ask, I want this much, I want this rank in exams, I want to build a home, I want a child, I want this, I want that. So whenever we are asking all worldly things, all the requests go to this Bhoga Srinivasa. And he's the one, he might be tiny at the bottom, but he's the one who's granting all of that. Okay. And then there are, as I told you, different sevas. Right from the morning, he is well decked up. Just 2:30 a.m. he wakes up and fully decked up immediately. Right from there. In fact, there are very special malas made for each part of his body. Like if it is for his shoulders, it's a special mala. If it is for his hands, it's a special mala. So for each part of his body also, there are special malas made. And there are people who specifically make this in the temple. So that way, imagine the employment also. This temple is employing so many people in their seva, correct? So everybody is equal to Srinivasa and everybody gets a chance to serve him. So then, of course, the crowds start coming, and once the crowds start coming, again and again, there is only Jaragandi. Keep going, keep going, keep going. You see Srinivasa Permal and keep moving on. So big crowds come for the darshan. So this is how the day is planned throughout the day. It starts at 2:30 a.m. and ends at, say, around 1:45 p.m. 1:45 a.m. the next day. So 1:45 a.m. to 2:30 a.m. is the only time that Srinivasa Perumal's Sannidhi is closed. Okay, so that is the time he gets, and it is said that that is the time where all the devatas and all those celestial beings do their namaskaras and do their pujas to the Lord. So does he sleep in that 45 minutes also? No. What to do? He is of 24/7 service to mankind. That is the avatara that he is taken up in Tirupati. Okay. So, yeah, this is one of the first things given to Perumal, a glass of milk and butter. So, you know what? So, Perumal's brushing happens with butter. Okay, with nice fresh butter. The brushing happens. Look at all the things that he eats. Bala Bhojanam, that is, these are all the Naivedyams that are happening in the temple. Yeah. This is Yellurunda, meaning sesame seeds, made out of sesame seeds. So Bala Bhojanam, all this, not just morning breakfast, pre-breakfast, early morning. So because he needs to have the strength to stay on and keep blessing, right? So he's given a lot of Naivedya. So these are all different names of Naivedyam. I'm going to keep the chat open. You can, guess what probably this is. Mudgannam. What do you think it is? This is all part of the Raja Bhojanam of Tirupati Perumal. What do you think it is? Mudgannam. Yeah, you can chat. Sweet Pongal. Okay. Anything else? Let's see what it is. We'll keep moving on. It is Pongal, but not sweet Pongal. Okay. So it is normal that Pongal with pepper and ghee, a lot of ghee and cashew and all that. That is Mudgannam. What is this? Tintrini Rasannam. What do you think it is? Yeah, anybody? Banana Rasayana, Puliyodare, fruit juice. Good options. Puliyodrai is correct. Is Puliyodrai. One type of Puliyodrai, especially for Permal. Okay, next. Dadyonam. Dadyodhanam. This is pretty clear. Yeah, it must be curd rice, right? Because Dadyonam. Curd rice. Okay, look at that curd rice itself. It is so buttery and so smooth. Gudanam. What do you think Gudanam is? Anybody? Milk rice, chakra pongal. Okay, good means vellam. That is correct. So it's chakra pongal. Chakra pongal given to the Lord. Oops. Sakanam. Vegetable rice, sambar rice, sambar sadam. Yes, kalanda sadam, kadamba sambar sadam. So that is sakanam. What is the next one? Shakanam. Sakanam and shakanam are two different things. What do you think that is? Vada? Okay, it is kesari. Okay, it's kesari, shakanam. Look at the kesari will also be dripping with ghee. Okay, let's see what else is there for snack and dinner for him. Okay, this is all Raja Bhoga. So Raja Bhoga is for lunch. So let's see what else is snack and dinner. Mashapam. What is mashapam? Vada, correct. Medu vada is mashapam. Mashapam or mashabupam. Gudapam. Gudapam. Gudapam is the neyyapam that we have. Gudapam. Okay. Gud. Gud means it is this thing, right? Jaggery. Okay, let's see what's next. Chakrapam. The name itself says chakrapam. What do you think that is? Sweet. Something sweet appam. No. Chakra here is not shakra. Chakra means round. So it is dosa. Chakrapam is dosa. Yeah, dosa is also given as prasadam here, this temple. Okay, next. Marichiannam. What is Marichiannam? Pepper rice. That is correct. Ghee and pepper rice. Marichiannam. Next is Panyaramulu. Paniyaram. So here it is savory. Paniyaram, not the way we know it. It is savory. So anything fried. Okay, that is Panyaramulu. And then, of course, there is milk, hot milk and fresh dry fruits and nuts. So this is given as, to digest everything that he's eaten during the day. Finally, he's given that. So that is, so we might think, what a life he is leading, so much of food being given to him. But imagine he hardly sleeps, only 45 minutes, hardly any sleep. But he enjoys his work because it is all his devotees taking care of him with so much of love. So that is about Tirupati Permal. There is also one more important custom here. When you go to Tirupati, the first relevant thing that strikes us is the mottai. Okay, that is, we give up the hair. So this giving up of the hair, why do you think that tradition came up? The giving up of hair. Because Hair is directly connected to our identity, our ego. Okay, the identity that I am this, I am that, this is beauty, this is not beauty. So usually the physical identity is connected with the hair. So when you give up the hair, it is almost like giving up your identity, giving up your ego before going into the temple. And that is why this happens in Kir Tirupati itself before going into the temple. Right? Even male Tirupati, there will be people outside. So they give up their hair before going into the temple. So that is a way of saying, I am giving up my ego. I am giving up my identity. I am surrendering completely to you. I am not going to think of myself as I am the owner of this. I am this great person, that great person. You are the greatest. When I enter your abode, you are the greatest. There is no me here. There is only you. So that is the attitude with which we go into the temple. That is when magic happens. Otherwise, with holding on to our identity, if we are trying to surrender, this is only semi-surrender. It's not full surrender, complete surrender. So that is why giving up our ego or the hair happens in this particular place. Okay. Another interesting story, there are many mathas in Tirupati around the temple. Okay, because all these great rishis have come to this place, have had a one-on-one with the Lord, have had incidents, many incidents have happened. And these mathas are all supportive of the main Tirumala Tirupati temple. Okay, so let's talk about one great devotee, Hathiram Babaji. So Hathiram Babaji was a rishi from the north, and he was like he is a great bhakta of Rama. And when he was spreading the name of the Lord and going around, that is when his guru told him, if you want real experience of Rama, not just saying his name, but experience of Rama, go down south, go to the Venkatadri hills. There he has taken Pratyaksham incarnation there. You look at the Lord there and then you will realize. So Hathiram Babaji, all the way from UP, comes down to the south. He goes to Tirupati. He stands in the huge queue and then finally gets to see his Lord. When he gets to see his Lord, he just loses himself. He's standing there for so long. People are trying to take him away, but still he's standing like that. And suddenly he's singing. Suddenly he is jumping in joy. Suddenly he is, moving here and there, rolling over the floor. So people were not able to understand or relate to the ecstasy that Bhavaji was feeling on seeing the Lord, because he has attained the Lord on just seeing the Lord. Okay, so he had to, but the temple had some restrictions, some customs that only till certain time people can come and go. And after that, there are ekanta sevai and all those things where everything has to be done in private to the Lord. So nobody can stand there. So that is why he was sent out. Now, he was like waiting, yearning to see the Lord again. Again, he will go in the next day. Again, he will spend the whole day. Again, he will do all these things that to others it will look crazy. To him, it is his expression of bhakti. So this went on and on and on. And finally, the temple authorities said he is acting crazy, so he should not come into the temple. And that is when he went one step further away. He had to wait for his Lord. So he didn't know what to do waiting for the Lord, because for him, the Lord was everything and he has to keep seeing his Lord. So he set up his small ashram there and he would wait for the Lord every day. And while waiting for the Lord, he will just have his own conversation with the Lord and say, please, you come and play with me. Let's play Dayakatta. You know what is that? It's basically a game of dice. So let's play that in the time that we are waiting for you. So he needs a partner. There is nobody. And then he hears one fine day, one voice coming in, and that voice is ready to play with him. And then he sees that is none other than Tirupati Balaji himself. So he plays the Dayakatta every day with the Tirupati Balaji. He comes and Balaji, you know, he is also such a sport that he is losing every day to his devotee. He comes and he plays, and it's not like he cannot win, but he loses wantedly and says, okay, now this particular jewel, and now this particular modaram, the ring, now this particular thing, this particular thing. He keeps, bets like that, and he loses, and finally he takes everything and goes back to his temple before they open. So he has a very small gap to come and go, because the Tirupati Balaji is overtime duty he is having there, right? So he has to come and go that way. So once what happened, when he had to go in a haste, he leaves behind one one diamond jewelry that can be worn like a necklace. So that is left behind. Now Hathiram Babaji is thinking, oh, chicho, this is left behind in my ashram. I have to return it to the Lord. It belongs to the Lord. So he goes to the temple. So when exactly that particular day, they find that this particular jewelry is missing everywhere. They are searching. They are not letting anybody come in or out because the Lord's jewelry is missing. And then finally, Hathiram Babaji himself comes forward and gives this piece of jewelry and says, this happened to be left behind by the Lord himself. Nobody is ready to believe him. He's already called a crazy man there, and nobody is ready to believe him. So, but he is a rishi, right? So there should be some benefit of doubt given to him. So the king of the land at that point in time, he decides to keep Babaji in one particular cell, jail cell. Okay. And that particular night, an impossible task is given to him. So if really the Lord comes to see you every night, he will make sure this task is complete. The task is, there will be a room full of sugar cane. How much sugar cane can you eat? And the to chew it and eat one sugar cane takes so long. And it's a room full of sugar cane which should all be finished, chewed and finished by tomorrow morning. If this is possible by you, I believe that the Lord is with you. So now Babaji, he doesn't know what to do. He just says, oh Lord, do whatever you have to do for your bhakta, and he goes to sleep. And then the next day morning when he wakes up, it is seen that the room full of sugar cane is all chewed up, all eaten, everything, task is complete. That is when everybody understood the bhakti that he had for the Lord, and the Lord himself has come in the form of a hathi or an elephant to fulfill the condition laid by the king of the land, just so that he can prove his bhakta to be innocent. So this is the story of Hathiram Babaji. So that is why he keeps saying Ram, Ram, and the Hathi itself, Hathi is elephant, came to eat up everything. So his name became Hathiram Babaji. So this is a legend belonging to Tirupati. This way there are many, many legends. Inside the temple, you will also see people like Krishna Devaraya and all the kings who have contributed greatly to the temple, who have revived the temple. So you will see all of them as sevaks. Sevagargal. They will all look like, they won't look like kings sitting on a throne and all that. They will all look like this very humble people kept at a lower level, because that is how much they wanted to be part of it. We are part of something huge, but we will not blow up our own trumpets, and we will not, because this is not the place to show our ego. The Lord is greater than all of us. This was the firm conviction by every king. And you will find Nayaks, you will find the Rayas, that is Krishna Devaraya, his wife, all of them as statues in the Tirupati temple as well. Okay, so with that, we come to an end. We conclude on Tirupati. So I would request all of you to unmute yourself briefly. Okay, so when I say Yelu Kundalavada Venkatramana, you should say Govinda, Govinda. Okay, and similarly the next one. Please unmute yourselves. Yelu Kundalavada Venkatramana.
Govinda,
Govinda,
Yelu Kundalavada Venkatramana.
Govinda,
Govinda,
Sarvatra Govindanama Sankirtanam.
Govinda,
Sarvatra Govindnama Sankirtanam.
Govinda, Govinda.
Very much. Thank you very much. I'm just muting you back. Right. So that is the beauty of this place called Tirupati. Next time you go to the temple, as you wait in the huge queue, recount the beauty of the temple and what all you can see around, what are the stories that you have heard about the temple, all that, just let it all sink through you so that you will really take in the essence of Govinda. And before we go to the next place, there are some interesting videos to show you. One is about the amazing prasadam, the GI tagged prasadam of this place. GI tag means geographical ID, okay, geographical index or geographical ID, meaning that particular food is famous for that particular place. That is the GI tag. So the GI tag for this particular place has been given to the Tirupati Laddu. Okay, so we will see the Laddu making process. That is one thing. And also there is a beautiful lookalike of the Sannidhi of Tirupati Permal that has been created outside the temple, where all the shoot will happen, because you cannot keep shooting the main Moolavar. So all that is happening to the Moolavar and the Utsavar will happen in this particular place also, and they will shoot everything. And that shooting is what we see in the various channels and all that. So we will be seeing that video as well. Here we go.
Amongst the temple's most popular traditions is the prasadam, or sacred offering that devotees collect after emerging from inside the sanctum. In fact, it's acquired quite the celebrity status amongst Indian sweets, the Tirupati Laddu. So sought after is this sweet that in recent years it has been patented. The Tirupati Laddu has been given GI, or Geographical Indication status, which means their preparation and quality is unique to the temple. What makes these laddus special? The answer may lie in how they're prepared, in a tantalizing blend of modern technology and age-old culinary tradition. A normal crowd at the Tirumala temple clocks in at a whopping 60 to 80,000 people a day, all seeking communion with the temple's deity, Sri Venkateshwara Swami. Devotees will expect all the typical experiences of a visit to Tirumala, from the divine darshan to savouring the famous Tirupati Laddu, for which they are willing to stand in yet another queue leading up to any of the over 60 Laddu counters. The Laddu has a special place in the food story of the temple. It's an integral part of Naivedyam, or daily meal offered to the Lord himself. Each Laddu is a hand-rolled sphere made from gram flour, sugar and ghee, or clarified butter. It is infused with spices like cardamom and dry fruits like cashews and raisins. There was a time when laddu making was done exclusively inside the sanctum's bodu, or kitchen. But in 2006, a new mechanized kitchen was set up outside the main sanctum for the preparatory work. Both kitchens work in tandem to roll out around 300,000 laddus a day. Vats of boiling ghee or clarified butter welcome the creamy batter made from Bengal gram. Sizzling deep-fried fragments called bundis emerge. At this point, tradition gets a technological upgrade. Trays of the deep-fried bundis mounted on an automated ropeway. As they ascend up narrow passages, they are headed for a destination where cameras are not allowed to follow. On the other side, waiting to receive the trays inside the main sanctum, are around 200 Brahmin priests who roll out each laddu by hand. While temple priests maintain religious rigor in the kitchen, laddu trays go through quality checks in the testing labs of Tirumala Tirupati Devasthanams, or TTD.
Here we'll check the shelf life of the laddus. For example, today we have taken this big laddu sample. This will be broken. And how much is the dry fruits level and sugar candies, how many grams of there. Usually it will retain up to 7 to 10 days maximum.
The testing lab also tests every ingredient used in the making of the prasadams, which includes not just the laddus, but also massive quantities of meals made inside the kitchens of TTD.
That is about the laddu here. Interesting, right? How quality checks are done for the because we will think we are getting some laddu, but there is so much of thought and so much of effort put into that laddu coming into your hands. This is how Tirupati looks from the inside.
Welcome to the Namuna Alayam, or Replica Temple, a near-exact copy of the inner halls of the temple. It was built in 2008 by the temple-sanctioned television broadcaster SVBC, or the Sri Venkateshwara Bhakti channel.
People wanted to see the glory of Venkateshwara, so we are not permitted to go there. So for that, every cameraman wanted to see all those things. So we have constructed a replica of the entire Tirumala temple in Tirupati. We are shooting all the sevas of Lord Venkateshwara as it is. It happens in the Tirumala temple.
The Namuna Alayam, or Replica Temple, bears a striking resemblance to the actual one, especially the Garbhagruha, or innermost chamber. It is here that the principal deity, or Mool Virat of Sri Venkateshwara Swami, stands tall in black stone, presiding at a height of 8 feet. The faithful know him by many different names, including Sri Venkateshwara Swami, Tirumala Balaji, Govinda, and Srinivasa. There's no conclusive theory as to who sculpted or installed the idol here, and many believe it's self-manifested here in its current form. It is this form that's most replicated in portraits and images representing Sri Venkateshwara Swami. But it is by no means the only one, because the main deity is surrounded by different idols, each representing a different identity and having a designated purpose and occasion. The silver Bhoga Srinivasa idol is the form that most daily rituals are addressed to. There is the Koluvu Srinivasa idol, which symbolically officiates temple affairs. Ugra Srinivasa represents the angry form of the god. And then there is Sri Maliyappa Swami, flanked by female consorts Bhudevi and Sridevi. Every day it is this idol that leaves the sanctum for ritual services. And it is this idol that will be mounted on grand processions during the upcoming annual mega festival of Brahmotsavam. Whether inside or outside, the sanctum idols are adorned in ornaments made of precious jewels. They are clothed in rich traditional weaves.
So that is about Bhoga Srinivasa and Malayappa Swami. Malayappa Swami is the one who comes out during all the chariot festivals, all the Brahmotsavams, and such is the beauty of the place. Okay. From there, we are going into another Divya Desam from Tirupati. Now, interesting. Let's see if you can guess. Okay. We are going to another place very close. It is in Tamil Nadu. And this is a place where Tirupati Srinivasa is there, right? His elder brother resides. This Permal is considered to be elder brother of Tirupati Srinivasa. Any guesses? Any guess, anybody? Okay, that's right, Priyadarshini ji. Interestingly, we saw so many prasadams that are being given in Tirupati, right? Here also prasadam is given. Amazing prasadam is cooked, but without one ingredient. And that ingredient is salt. So without salt, how can we make prasadam for the Lord? But here in this next destination, our next kshetram, that is how it is done. So we are going to the place called Kumbakonam. Kumbakonam is a very traditional spot and a very important spot when it comes to the number of Divyadesams and temples that are present. Kumbakonam itself has a lot of legendary stories to it. It is said that Brahmaji kept all the seeds of creation, the moolams, all together in one kumbam when Pralaya took place. And it is said that this went, floating in the flood when Pralaya happened. And that is when Lord Shiva thought these seeds should fall on the world. And he hit it with an arrow and it burst. And that kumbam landed in this place called Kumbakonam. And that is why there are so many Divya Kshetras, not just for Lord Vishnu, also for Lord Shiva. There are so many Kshetras in one particular small place called Kumbakonam. Every next temple that are there, which are sharing walls also, are of immense importance and have a great Sthala Puranam and a very legendary story associated with it. Such is the place called Kumbakonam, where there are so many such places, so many such temples, and one of the Divya Kshetrams in this particular place is Oppaliyappan Koil. Oppaliyappan temple is where we are going to, where again, just like his brother, the Permal here is also standing. So yesterday, day before yesterday, we saw Permal sleeping right down, right? The Shayana column is what we saw. Here he is standing, just like in Tirupati. So this is the Oppaliyappan Permal. What is very special about him? Can you see that there are two people in front who are on their knees on the left and right? Any clue who they are? Who are they? Okay. Okay, we will go to who they are. Okay. So that is the story about this place. So this particular Perumal is considered to be the elder brother of Sri Venkatachalapati of Tirupati. And down next to him is Bhuma Devi or Bhumi Devi and Markandeya Maharishi. So on his left is Markandeya Maharishi, on his right is Bhumi Devi. So what is the story? We will go to it. And interestingly, he holds his hand on the hip like this and his other hand in a Varadana posture. That is how he gives Varam. And interestingly, it has the words from the Bhagavad Gita, Mamekam Sharanam Braja, meaning my devotee will not perish. The one who surrenders unto me, that person can never perish. Okay, I will forever protect that person. So that is the promise by Perumal in this particular temple. And here, as I told you earlier, prasadam like tamarind rice, fried snacks, everything is prepared and given, but without one ingredient, which is salt. Can we eat food without salt? Interestingly, today happens to be Chitra Paurnami. So Chitra Paurnami is the day it is said that, the secretary of Lord Yama. Who is that? Chitraguptan. Chitraguptan sits on top of a pile of salt and he is writing our Kanak. Kanak meaning our calculations of karma. All the punyas and all the papas, he's doing the bank balance today. All the tallying happens, it seems. That is why people believe in eating without salt on Chitra Paurnami Day. That is today. And today happens to be us going to this Divya Kshetram again, which is Uppaliyappan, the one who has no equal. Uppaliyappan, Oppilla Appan. Oppu means matching or equal. Oppilla Appan means he's matchless. There is none equal to him. And his name is also Uppaliyappan. Uppaliyappan, Oppaliyappan. He said both. Okay, so Uppaliyappan is Uppillappan, the one who eats without salt. So what is the story there? That is an interesting story. So what happened when Lakshmi Devi and Tulsi Devi, both of them came out of the churning of the ocean? Lakshmi Devi was accepted by Lord Vishnu. She became his Dharam, that is his consort, who forever remained in his heart. But Tulsi Devi also wanted the same status, but that is when she was advised to do tapas, and she did tapas, and she was born in this beautiful land of Kumbakonam as a Tulsi plant. And similarly, there was one more person who is doing tapas, who was Markandeya Maharishi. Markandeya Maharishi, of course, we remember him from the story where he hugged a Shiva Linga, and because of that, Yama could not take him away, even though he was destined to live shorter. So forever young is Markandeya Maharishi. So Markandeya Maharishi wanted to become the father-in-law of the Lord of Permal. So he did all the tapas so that he will get a beautiful daughter who will marry Permal. So Bhuma Devi was born to him, and she was born under the Tulsi plant, and hence in this land Tulsi plant became very famous and very devotional and traditional. So Bhuma Devi was born to him, and he took care of the child as his own, and she became, as she grew up to marriageable age, that is when he was looking out for the best suitor, and he knows who is going to be the suitor. Who is going to be the suitor? Srinivasa, Lord Permal, correct? So Permal, of course, does not give anything easily to his devotee, even though he wants to, right? He always has a very different way of doing things. So what he does, he comes as an old man to test these two. He comes as an old man who cannot really take care of himself. He comes to this home, and Markandeya Maharishi welcomes him, and he comes and he eats in this house, and he sees this little girl who is going around, helping around and all that. And then he tells the father, that is Markandeya Muni, saying, see, I'm very old. I have given up everything else. I don't have anybody to take care of me. Can you please marry your daughter to me? And Markandeya Muni has been, his varam itself, his boon itself was to rise up a daughter and give her hand in marriage to Lord Vishnu. But here this man is coming and asking, and he's feeling like a guest comes and asks something, you should not say a no. So he doesn't know how to say a no. He goes to his daughter, and his daughter says, nothing doing, I'll marry only Lord Vishnu. If you force me to marry him, I'll die on the spot. He goes to this old man and says, see, she's not willing. She's a young girl. She doesn't know anything. So he says, if you are not going to marry me to your daughter, I will die on the spot. So now he's in a fix. Markandeya Maharishi is being blackmailed, emotionally blackmailed by both these parties. So now what happens? He goes and he tries to tactically handle this old man, saying, see, she doesn't know anything. She's after all a young girl. She doesn't even know how to cook. How will she take care of you? She makes food without salt. How will she take care of you? And that is when the old man says, no problem. I will give up salt. I will eat food without salt throughout my life after this. Please get me married to your daughter. And now Markandeya Maharishi doesn't know how to get out of this problem. So mentally he just surrenders to the Lord and says, Lord, please take me out of this issue. Please find a solution for me. And that is when he opened his eyes, instead of the old man, the Lord with in the form of Kalyana Kolam, right? He's wearing all the jewels and all that, like a bridegroom. He's sitting right in front of him and says, now will you give your daughter in marriage to me? Because I myself have come. And that is when Markandeya Muni agreed, and the daughter Bhumi Devi gets married to Uppuliyappan in this particular spot. And in this spot, always food is made, prasadam is made without uppu, because he's given a promise. I will take care of your daughter. I will eat whatever your daughter makes, even if it is without salt. But you will not notice that it is made without salt. That is the beauty of the space, it seems. And also this particular place is called Thiruvinnagar, the name of the Divya Desam. So it's like some 4 kilometers from the main Kumbakonam. And Thiruvinnagar means Vinnagar is heaven. Heaven on earth is what this place's name is. And it has 2 Pushkaranis or ponds. And one of the Pushkaranis is called Ahoratra Pushkarani, which is a very unusual name. The name itself says unusual powers come to the Pushkarani during night time. Usually when you bathe in a temple pond, you're asked to bathe between the Sandhya Kalams, that is between dawn and dusk. But here you can take a bath at any point in time, because there is a story here that there was a Brahmana called Deva Sharma, and he forcefully took away a woman to make her his wife, and that was Jaimini Rishi's daughter. See, hearing the cries of his daughter, he didn't even see who was taking his daughter away. He immediately cursed that you will become a Krunchu bird. But Deva Sharma was also a well-spirited man. He said, I want to come out of this curse. What do I do? And that is when his father-in-law, that is Jaimini Rishi, told him that he will have to do tapas, that is just be next to this temple of Uppuliyappan and near the pond. Just be there. What happens to you, that's all. So as a bird, he used to nest himself on a particular branch of a tree and keep staying here in this, near this Pushkarani. And it happened that once during the night, there was a heavy storm. And in that storm, everything was flying away. And this particular bird also got flown away and taken off the branch, and it touched its wings and its body touched the water during the darkness of the night. And just as it touched, he got back his form, and his all his sins got released. Okay, so that is why Ahoratra Pushkarani is considered to be having powers even at night. Okay, and of course, whenever Uppuliyappan's idol, that is the Murti, is taken out for procession, he's always accompanied by Bhumi Devi. It's not just Permal who goes out, it will always be with Bhumi Devi, because he made a promise to Markandeya Muni that I will never let go of your daughter. I will always be with your daughter. So that is why, in keeping with the promise, that happens. And it is said that whoever takes up any tapas here, undertake any rituals here, or take care of utsavams here, they will be blessed with the boon of a child, because of the history of Markandeya Muni here. And also, when we see Mangala Sasanam, what has been sung by the Alvars here, see, 2 Pasurams by Peyalvar, 11 by Nammalvar, and 34 by Tirumangayalvar. So totally 47 Pasurams in just this place. Imagine the strength, the power of this Divya Desam. So such a beautiful temple, definitely that everybody should visit and should take darshan of. That is the beauty of this particular place. With that, we conclude today's session. We have gone to Tirupati and we have visited his brother, Uppuliyappan as well. Uppuliyappan or Uppuliyappan. And in this beautiful Nagara of Kumbakonam. Okay, Kumbakonam has many temples just like this. There is Sarangapani temple. There are so many others which Kumbakonam has also. So definitely do visit. And I'm open to questions now. We will be meeting again tomorrow Tomorrow might be our final class. Do come, do bring whoever you can along also. And I'm open to answering questions now. Yes. Meenakshi, what's your question?
Ma'am, I'd just like to say that if last year, it's last year only. I think it's not even been a year. I've just been to Tirupati.
Very good.
It's just been a year actually.
Very good. Did you know all these stories about Tirupati?
Yes, I have a book about Tirupati. I've read his whole story.
Lovely. So next time, because Tirupati and Srirangam are places where you go, every time you go, you discover a new story. So be open when you go to Tirupati next time. Maybe you will find more sculptures, you will find some writings, inscriptions, which you have not found last time. So every time you go, be open so that you learn more and more about the temple. Okay? Right, Meenakshi. Yeah, Vishuddha.
Ma'am, I have two things to say.
Yes, please.
Ma'am, you told about Upliyappat, no? Actually, it's our Kuladevam.
Oh, lovely.
And also, there's one thing. If we take the prasadam from Upliyappan, if we eat it in the temple, we'll not recognize that there is up in it. But if we go outside, we'll recognize it.
Correct. That is the legend. That's what the legend says. Correct. Is there a question, Vishuddha?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Quickly ask.
I need one thing to you should show me.
Which is?
Ma'am, can you tell me? Show me the Mangala asanas once.
Which one? The Mangala Shasanam for Upliyappan?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, sure. Why not? Yeah, here it goes.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. I'm going on to Vibha.
Ma'am, like, how do you eat food in the temple without recognizing that there is no salt in it?
So this doesn't appeal to our logic. It appeals to our faith. Okay. So you will have to experience it to debate about it.
Okay.
Because once you experience, both of us can probably talk about it. Okay. Because this is not of logic. This is about faith. Okay. Thank you. Samhita Raghunath.
Ma'am, I had a doubt what it means if we say pasurams.
So pasurams are the songs or compositions of the Alvars. Like we say stanza, right? Stanza's actual translation is pasuram. Song is a pasuram. Stanza is a pasuram. Okay.
Ma'am, and
thank you. Do you have any other doubts, Samhita? Please unmute.
Yes, ma'am.
Go ahead.
Ma'am, I could not attend last 2 to 3 classes, so could I get the recording of that?
Yeah, you will be told about the recordings tomorrow. So please do attend tomorrow if possible, and they will tell you how to access the recordings. Okay, thank you. Yeah, Abhijit Ram.
Why do Go Arva and Pay Arva have such names?
Such names, is it? So I think we will be covering it tomorrow. So I request you to please come tomorrow. Peyalvar is literally saying, I don't need this body. Okay, I'm just the spirit. So that way, I will tell you the stories tomorrow because we'll be dealing with them tomorrow. Okay? We'll be going to some of those Divyadesams tomorrow. Thank you, Abhijit. Pranav Shrikanta, what's your question?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, why Upliyappan is called the brother of Venkateshwara?
I'm not sure, but maybe because of the resemblance, physical resemblance, because both are standing, because both are majestic, because both of them have the same hand gestures. So probably it is because of that, the physical resemblance of the two.
Okay.
Okay. Priyadarshini.
Namaste, Bhagini.
Namaste.
I have a question. It's like about the Tiruchitrakoodam Divyadesam. There also, it's like similar to the Upliyappan. You know, it's like there also they say he's the elder brother for the Srinivasa Perumal. So that's why I had to answer, but I didn't give. Here I wanted to check with you.
Possible, because here it is not about the connection between Divya Desams, not necessarily. It could also be because of the resemblance of how the Moolavar looks, or what is the story behind the Moolavar, how they knit with each other. So it could be either of that. That is why they are called, brother, and it is all the same Perumal, right? But here we call brother and elder brother, younger brother. So that creates a kind of a family bond there. So that is
because
mostly
Kulasekara Perumal, it's like Kulasekara, he has given 10 pasurams to that Tiruchitrakoodam. And, entire Ramayana has been told in that 10 pasurams. And that Divyadesam is also called the elder brother for the Tirupati Perumal. So that I was checking.
Right. Thank you for that information. Maybe I will also check and get back. Gunaseelan is the elder brother, Mahalakshmi ji has said. So, yeah, there are multiple versions to this like that. Yeah. Okay, thank you. And Krishna ji, please unmute. What's your question?
Namaste, ma'am. I really enjoyed the session. I just like to, I won't be turning on my video, but I'll just tell one word that I really enjoyed all the stories, and all glories to Lord Vishnu.
Thank you, Krishna ji. Thanks for coming every day, and thanks for being part of this. Yes, Ashok ji.
Namaste, madam. See, what is mean by Paturam? I don't understand. Paturam.
Pasuram means song or a verse of a song. Composition by a particular Alvar is Pasuram.
Oh, that means like shloka or like verse.
Correct. But it is not in the form of a shloka, it's in the form of a song. So it will be longer. It will be longer than a shloka. Okay, so these are called Pasurams. Like Andal composed Tirupavai. Tirupavai has 30 songs, so these are called 30 Pasurams.
Okay. And tomorrow will be last day, no? Tomorrow. Can we cover all the Darshanams?
Not at all possible. Not at all possible. But as many as possible will be covered. Okay.
Madam, I missed Wednesday. Was it a class there or not on Wednesday?
No, there was no session on Wednesday. Because I had a personal emergency, we did not have class on Wednesday.
Because I didn't know the class was I missed on that.
I understand.
Okay, thank you very much.
Prab Vaidyaji, please unmute.
Hi, so thank you for letting me speak. It was a fantastic class. Really appreciate all the effort you have taken personally and made this class a great success. And one thing I wanted to comment is the children's participation just moved me so much. It's so heartwarming, overwhelming to see them. Emotionally, I feel connected to children. I teach Bhagavad Gita, other things. So it's awesome to see them participating so much, asking great questions. And one word of maybe if we can take a liberty is all you children who have so much of knowledge in this session. If you want to learn Sanatana Dharma, please learn Sanskrit, and then that's the root that connects all of Bharat, all of world, all of universe. So please do spend some time for learning Sanskrit. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, because all of them are here because they are enrolled or in touch with Sanskrit in some way or the other. That is why all of them are here.
Oh, fantastic!
So it's amazing know that they have chosen to learn Sanskrit.
And spread the word
and
to your
that is-
friends. This should be the cool factor, you know. Sanskrit should be cool. Sanatana Dharma should be cool. Everything should be cool. And learning how to read the scriptures, I think that would be an awesome thing, because when you go to temple and if you can read those sculptures, those scripts are very hard to read because it's Sanskrit and Telugu and mixed things. So it's an art by itself. I think that would be a very entertaining exercise also for children, I think.
Very much, very much, very much.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you, ma'am.
Namaste. Namaste. Priyadarshini ji, I hope your question has been answered. Yes?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody. I'll meet you again tomorrow. Tomorrow, we might extend our session a little because it being the last one. So please come ready to give some feedback, and also we'll have a Q&A, and we will cover a few more Kshetrams tomorrow, a few more Alvars tomorrow. So let's do as much as possible. We will have the session a little longer tomorrow. Okay. With that, I'll see you tomorrow. Namaste. Namaste, everybody. I will allow you to unmute yourselves.
ಧನ್ಯವಾದ.
ಧನ್ಯವಾದ.